Hey everyone! So I'm still playing with the Distress Oxides and the Stays On ink pads. I'm still playing with all the ink pads. Okay, but I've done some different things that I think maybe we haven't thought of before. Um, CD cases. Aren't these cool? Now I'll tell you on the acetate cellophane part, I guess, cellophane, uh, it will dry if you use the Stays On. Like that's on there. That's not going to come off. See? If it's the Distress inks, it's not going to dry. It will always just wipe off. So this was the Distress inks to show you the difference. I think they look really neat. I've done the same on the back. I rolled off on the back was how I did the backs. But I think these are going to be great additions to junk journals. Plus, the reason I was doing this was I wanted to create backgrounds for another layer that we're going to be doing in the next video. That's number one, CD cases. Here is the one that tickled me so, and this is Glassine bags. Isn't this fun? Look at that. I mean, it's dry. It's not coming off, and I love the texture on these. I used some stencils. I did the same. I did some stamping on this one. This one is not a jelly plate. I'm sorry. This one's just stamping. This is a jelly plate. These were brown cellophane bags, and I have to say, I don't like them as much as I did the white. The white shows more of the colors that you're getting. I just love them. And I did this. I didn't do the back of that one. I will. Or that one. I did this because I want to, some of them I didn't do the back. I remember why, because I thought they would be glued down for pockets in a journal, and I think that's going to look good. So I'm just going to leave these. I'm not going to do the backs of those, but I have plans for these, and look, I only did the back of that one. I need to do the front of it. I have plans for these. I done these because I want to start playing with some napkins, and that will be in my next video, and I can't hardly wait. I think it's going to be so much fun. Here's another bigger cellophane bag that I done some stamping with Stays On first, just different colors, and then I laid it down on the jelly plate. So I think those are going to be really cool backgrounds. So that's number two, the Glassine bags. Another thing I did, and this one you've probably already done, is index cards. I did some distress inks on those, and I think they look really neat. So that's number three. Number four is an easy peasy one, but it's one I didn't think about. I have all these white envelopes. This would be great on junk mail envelopes. Look how cool that looks. Junk mail envelopes, I used a stencil on this one like the rocks. So, and I did both sides. I did the roll off on the other side so that it would have great color as we flipped it, you know, because I'm figuring they'll either be pockets or flips or something. So I did both sides on those. So envelopes, that is number, what are we up to now? 4? I don't know. We're still going. Okay, now this one's fun, and I don't know where to tell you to get these. These were gifted to me by Dee. I love these. They're tea bags. Like you put loose tea in, and I've done some stenciling and pulling up of the colors on those. These were tea dyed as well. I tea dyed them. They came to me, they were just white tea bags. So neat. I haven't seen them before. I don't know. It's probably something you could get from Amazon. But I have some of those. Now here is the fun one that I liked. And that is flashcards. Because, you know, a lot of flashcards are shiny. Okay, and this still is somewhat. But because I was using Stays On, now this side of this flashcard is not shiny, but because I was using the Stays On, it will stay. And now you have a really cool writing spot. I love the colors. And I did a bingo card. So I don't know how many numbers we're up to now, but I think this is awesome. Here's a big flashcard. It just so happened the color I was using did end up making gray, which I thought that was neat. So another thing most important, don't forget this. Use wax paper as your roll-off, because not only does it color it and make it look cool, now we can make glassine bags and so many other things out of this wax paper. So be sure and have your wax paper handy when you're doing this. Okay, here is another thing that I did that I absolutely loved. My paint strips. So I did stamp on this one. Oh, look at that. That's the rock. This was like I didn't even know paint samples had this, but like I said, it was bought in a full thing. It was all bound together. It's like an index. So it has all these words telling the colors. It's like a glossary of the colors that are in that thing. And I love this. I think this is going to be perfect. We can make bookmarks out of this. That's going to be great. So I did some on those, and I loved it because those are shiny as well, and they're kind of hard to, alter. So that was a good thing. So we've got wall paint sample or paint samples. And then I have some that are the old standbys that I still love and think they look great. And that is, I done some music paper. Ooh, and the fun part of this one was, I've been working on this Italian journal. Look at that brick. Isn't that pretty? On these Italian journals. And this particular book of Italian paper was called Old Italian Masters. I say Italian paper. Italian music. It's called Old Italian Masters, and I thought, well, I have to use that. It's fitting. And of course, last but certainly not least is file folders. Isn't this neat? Did a lot of things on file folders because I'm going to cut them down, of course, use them for tags. That's going to be great background. And again, I'm going to be playing with some napkins. And so that is the reason I started messing with a lot of these things, because I want to do some napkin play with them. But I thought, I would show you real quick for anybody that maybe didn't see the last video, how I did these. And because there's just so much stuff I'm going to be able to do with these. Here's the white envelopes. I just have stacks of these. I don't know why. I probably got them from a secondhand shop. Here's the CD cases. Got some more flashcards, index cards, and more CD cases. And I do have this glassine bag to do, and some more paint samples. I'm going to pull out some more of the wax paper. I do have more file folders. I'm not going to do all of that in this setting. I'm just going to do a few things to show you how I did it, and then take off. Let your imagination run wild. I love this so much. I've had so much fun with this, and I'm keeping my hand here, so hopefully this light isn't glaring at you too bad. But the first thing I'm going to do is, well, let's just do some envelopes. I started to say I was going to roll off on, and I'm going to use Stays On, because I want to make sure that it's going to stay. I've got some spiced cheese and some, let's see, pumpkin and claret, which I think is like a wine color. And I'm just going to roll this slightly. I just went one direction and just kind of rolled it once. And then I'm going to spray it just a little bit with alcohol. And this is the cheaper 70. The content of it, I guess, is 70. Got it at the Dollar Tree. And I think I want to lay down a stencil. And I just pulled out some. I mean, actually, I didn't even have to pull them out. They were already out because I don't clean up my space. So here's one. I'm just going to lay that down. I don't really want the honeycomb. I like this dot. So I was going to lay that down and press and then roll over it because that's giving me what's left on the brayer, which always looks neat. And there is the back. And then for the front, I either lay it down on your jelly plate, and we're picking up everything here. Isn't that neat? And I also was laying it down on the back side of my stencil. I just used all that I could. Anywhere I could pick up color, I did that. And I just love how that turns out. I didn't try to cover everything. I left a lot of white because I think that's important too. This paint sample, I colored this side, but I didn't color this, so I thought I would come back in and pick up on the other side. I don't know that I'll use both sides. I really feel like I'm going to use a lot of them for bookmarks. So that's all I've done. Just pick the paint up with that. And it changed it, and it makes it, I just love it. I love that little subtle bit of color in that. Okay, so there's our paint sample. It's done. And I also want to was going to show you how I did the envelopes. I don't think that you really probably need me to show you. I'm having such a good time. I really am. I've done so many things. Okay, so let's get some blue. This is ultramarine. And again, I mostly just used my Stays On because I was doing the CD cases and I knew that I didn't want that to run away. You know, I didn't want it to wipe off. But since I'm doing this one on an envelope, I'm going to go ahead and grab some of my Distress inks here. I've got that blue and I've got fossilized amber. And I don't know why I think that's going to go together. It may not. And I'm just going to roll one direction. Don't know if that's how you do it really or not. And then I'm going to spray. And a lot of the times on these envelopes, I didn't put down a stencil. I just laid down the envelope like this and then rolled. And got that great roll off for my brayer and this from the front. And again, we're just trying to add a little bit of color because we're going to do some really neat things with these. Well, I hope we do. I hope that the things I have in my mind will actually work. So I'm just picking the rest of that up. Like so. And I love that. There's not a lot of color on there, but we're going to make this so pretty. It doesn't have to have a lot, I promise you, because we're going to do some neat things. And not to mention, just stamping alone will really fill that in. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of the flashcards. So I'm going to go back to only using the Stays On. Got some olive green. And another thing that will work is the Ranger inks. I have a lot of the Ranger inks. One is Cactus Flower. These are the ones that I got from Scrapbooking with Me when she was destashing. Spray that a little bit with some alcohol. And then just lay my card down. And I'm going to brayer it off on the back. So I'm getting some cool colors on the back as well. I got green and pink. Kind of neat. I'll lay them the opposite way and see what we get. So that is that one. That's all we got to do. And I'm going to do another. I think I'll do an index card. I like the green and pink because, whoops, I tore it. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We're going to use it anyway. It's going to be fine. If nothing else, we'll use it for collage. So there is that one. Got one more here. You can tell these index cards I more than likely got from the Dollar Tree because that one's pretty thin. Not getting a lot of color left, so I must have picked up most of it. I'm going to save this one and keep adding to it. I actually think I'm going to add some Distress oxides since I'm using the not using something that has to have permanent ink. And I've got an orange, a yellow, I think, and some patina. Might just see what we get by not spraying anything. Really neat colors. Let's see. Love this. I love being able to just add color. And these are going to be so much fun to play with. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the alcohol and brayer it one more time. I don't know that I'm going to pick up very much color. I think I might have got it all. Ooh, I did get some more. Look at that. Nice. So picked up a bunch there. Pick up some more. And these are just going to be, even when they're light like that, keep them. Because that's just going to add another dimension to whatever you're making for this. Well, flipped it right up in your face. For this card. Okay, so now I'm going back to the Stays On because I'm using some slickery kind of things. And I've got some black cherry. And some spiced chai. And I think I want to add a little bit of pumpkin in there too. And I'm going to leave that string there because I'm hoping it. All right. So I got it on my brayer and that's good because it leaves a real neat look too. So I'm going to flip this to the back and brayer this side. Ooh. So we got some beading and we got some really neat looks back here. I love these colors. Very pretty. Let's spray some distress sprays. I mean some alcohol and pick up some more with a CD holder. So I'm going to lay this down, face down, and roll it off. Look where that string is. Doesn't that leave a neat look? And that's what we got on the front. And I'm not going to touch this because it will dry with it being the Stays On. But I'm going to get a little bit more on that bottom, just like that. So cool. I love this. And how fun and easy is this? I mean, seriously, it's fun to play like this because you got, well, I have a stack of stuff that's just insane how much beautiful colors I have here on these. So I'm going to use some midnight blue, some of the olive again. Let's see. What else do I want? Maybe some more of the spice chai. And I'm going to lay down my rock stencil. I love this one. It works so good. Spray a little alcohol ink there, or alcohol. I'm going to put down one of these CD holders. And that's what we got. Isn't that fun? Love that. That's neat. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side, and I'm going to roll that. Lay this on this side so that I can spray it. And that's what I pick up on the back. Isn't that neat? Navy and I just had a chip-a-lanch. He had his little bag of chips, and I guess he tore it. And now it's trying to spill out. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing with this CD holder. Oh, goodness, that's neat. And then I'm going to flip it over and roll Just like that. Isn't that? I love the negative. I really do. I think I'm going to lay this down. See if anything comes off of this. My stencil. I don't think it will, but you never know. Let's try it. Nah, not much. But a little bit. You can see a little bit. And I like that. So, what else do I have left? I have a few of these wallpaper or paint samples. A few flashcards. So let's just spray a little. Let's just do a little bit more. We're just going to keep on. What else do I have here? I'm going to go back with this black cherry. I really do like that. Oh, I hate these things. I know they're to keep the ink from drying out, but it just wears me out just having to fight with it all the time. So I'm going to do another spice chai. And some of the olives. And I have this kind of little, I don't know, just a shape stencil here. I'm going to spray that. I think I'll do one of these flashcards. Move it over here. Actually, I'm going to just try to smush it down, because if I roll my brayer across, it's more than likely going to smudge it all. I think I want to do one of these CD holders again. How about that? Look at all that texture. So this one, that's what we got on the back. I'm just going to let that dry. And I'm going to put my back down. And I know I said I didn't want a brayer because it would smudge, but on that cello, it seems like it dries really quick. So let's see what we got here. We're going to do the front on this side. And I'm going to just flip it over and try to press down, see what we get. Not much. May have to do a little bit more on this one, and that's okay. What else do we have? Some ganache. Some stays on. Let's do some mustard. Oh, there's that stupid thing again. I'm going to put this little thing here. I like that one. Just squirt that one again. And I'm going to just roll part of this on that. Got some great color on that. The other half. And see, I love the back. The back is done. Kind of smudged the front, but that's okay. I like it, and I think it's going to give good color, so I'm keeping that. I want to do my last CD holder. Oh, gosh. How cool is that going to look? I mean, like, it'll be like dripping paint or something. I love it. Try not to get the middle because I like how that looks. I don't want it to smudge. So I'm just going to try to tap it down with my fingers. Pick up some on the back. So that's wonderful. Okay. So one more thing I want to do with these. See if I can get any of that. A little bit with what was left on there. Let's do some more coloring. Maybe a different stencil. Let's try a different stencil on this one. Now, I don't, believe it or not, I don't have many things left laying out here other than my file folders, and I may do that in these paint samples. We have so many beautiful things out here. I'm so excited. Okay, so let's do some more of the blue. And I'm going to pull out some of the Ranger ones. They take a little bit longer to dry, but I'm not using it on the cellophane right now. I'm going to have to remember I don't want to put one of the CD holders down. This is a garden patina and a monarch orange. I know, what a combination, huh? It's okay. And I'm going to spray it a little bit. Actually, I want to get a stencil first. Maybe let's do these. Neat. How cool is that? I'm going to let that dry a second. I'm going to pull this up. Oh, I can see all kinds of goodie back there. And I think I'm going to lay that down on that. I said I wasn't going to use the CD holder, but I used the bag, which doesn't matter as far as getting, if it, I mean, it'll stay to the paper. So that looks neat. And I've got that coming through on the front. I might just lay down some on the edge of my stencil. Try not to get on the inside, because I can always stamp that inside at a later time with some stays on or whatever. So let's spray this again and roll that off. Ooh, and it rolled off good too. Look at all of that. And then I'm going to use one of my, I think I want to use an index card. Nice color on that one. And then I also think I want to use, see if I can get some stuff with these paint samples. Just getting the extra there. And I didn't get any wax paper out, which I will before I'm done, because that's such a great way to roll off. And like I said, we can always, look at all the colors in that one. We can always make glassine bags or just so many things out of it. I think I want to use this monarch orange again. Really like that. That was pretty. And again with the garden patina. And I think the other one was what? The ultramarine. So I'm going to roll it just a little bit. And I'm going to spray it. But I do think, I'm going back, I love this one so much, the rock one. I'm going to use that on the paint sample. Doesn't that look neat? Love that. Okay, let that one dry. I'm going to do one of the thinner paint samples, not that index card. Those index cards are like thicker than the normal paint samples. That looks neat. I like that. I'm going to lift that up and grab up some more. What do you think? Isn't that a neat background? See what we can pull up from everything. See what's left. A lot of that, what I call it, looks like stippling. I love it. I know you're sick of me. I'm sick of myself saying I love it. Really neat colors back there. I'll do a little bit on this side. Let's see. See what we got. We've been playing for a long time, but I really do like these. Let's see if this is dry yet. Yes, look. Doesn't that look neat? It just looks like we threw paint at it. I love that one. Here's, this one is dry now. That's a flashcard. It's amazing to me how quick these dry. I really like the CD holders because I used napkins on them before. I have a tutorial on that, and that was really cool. But I'm really, really liking this version of it too. So what I'm going to do is get a piece of wax paper, spray this, and pick it up. I think I got kind of a big piece because I don't think there's that much to pick up, but we'll see what we got. I'm going to roll the whole thing because I've been really using most of the plate today. I haven't been... Looks like we're getting some color. Oh yeah, we're getting some stuff. I'm just gonna let it scrunch and pick up, and it will leave a really neat pattern on there. And it's probably hard to see because it's kind of light, but it will definitely make great glassine bags as just a layer of background color. So I'm going to put my things away, clear out some space, and I'll come back and we'll go over what we got done today. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show you what we've got here. We've got the wax paper. This one has some stamping in the background. Use those for roll-off sheets, and they're going to make such fun backgrounds. We have the normal index cards. We've done a whole bunch of those using stencils and sprays and all kinds of goodies with those. So that's number 2. Also did some flashcards, shiny flashcards that of course kept it wonderfully because I was using the Stays On. And these are going to make wonderful things to just put in pockets and have great texture background. So that is number 3. Number 4, we have our paint samples. Cannot forget those. I really like how those turned out. Such great color. And these are going to be fun for bookmarks. And I mean, we can make this. These are thick enough. They would make good pockets, belly bands. So many. Oh, that's a thick one. So many things we're going to be able to do with these. Number 5 is our envelopes. Love these envelopes. Look, such great color. So much fun on those. And they were quick and easy because you could roll off on one side while you were getting the print on the other side. And that's a quick, easy thing to do there. So there's our number 5. Our number 6 is CD holders. How fun are these? And again, remember, you want that cool look on the acetate to stay like that. Gosh, I love that. Make sure and use Stays On, and it will dry, and you'll get to keep that look of what's in the window. So we did those, rolled off on the back. Those are going to make such, we're just going to have so much fun making things out of this. That is number 6. Number 7 is the old standby file folders. I love this. I really like how this turned out, and I can't wait to cut it down and do things with it. We're going to have fun with that too. So that was number 6. Number 7 is the tea bag holders. And these were tea dyed. And then we used the stencils and the distress inks on those. Number 9, we have the beautiful Italian music paper. Those are going to be really fun too. So that's number 10. Sorry, number 9. Number 10 was the reason I started this whole thing, the glassine bags. Coloring the glassine bags. Again, you'll have to use Stays On for that to stay on, or the archival inks. This takes a little bit longer for those to dry. But we have a wonderful mix of things that we've colored here. Here's some more of the flashcards. Oh, a bingo card. That was our one extra. So I guess that's number 11 is a bingo card. Don't those look neat? More flashcards and more paint samples. So I love this. I love this project. I like how it turned out. It's going to be so much fun when we start making all of the things with this. So this was day 16. I need to stamp a 16 on something and sign it. So I'm going to pile this stuff to the side real quick. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the same thing I always use. The same stamps. And I'm using StazOn because this is the Glassine bag. That looks really neat. It's bubbled there. And this is pumpkin, although it doesn't look like it because it's mixing in with those other colors. Oh, there's our 16. I really like, I may stamp some, just stamp random on some others for fun. Just stamp numbers like that. Okay, so now I'm going to sign it. Maybe. And put my initials on it. And there is our day 16 mixed media challenge. And we used so many things. We had so much, I had so much fun. I really enjoyed this project. I hope that you do. I hope that you will start pulling out all the things. There were so many other things I thought of, like guest checks and time cards and book page. Of course, that's, you know, I was trying to choose things that were a little bit out of the norm. We use these things, but we don't necessarily think of putting them on our jelly plate. So I hope this helped. I hope you like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.